Hey everyone, welcome to another video. If you haven't already and you love film content, consider clicking that subscribe button. Today we're going to be talking about After Yang, a film I thought had a lot of potential but ultimately fails to live up to it. So let's get into it. It took me a while for me to even get excited about this one. I knew that A24 was picking this up from the Cannes Film Festival, but from the stills, it looked really slow and boring. I then saw the trailer and the significant positive reaction that came out of Sundance this year, and then I started to get excited.
I'm very, very excited.
I will say that After Yang gets off to a great start. As someone who loves dance scenes in film, especially when they're done very creatively, this nailed that opening scene. It is comedic fun and is one of the coolest dance scenes ever. And the next 30 minutes, I love what After Yang was building to. Having a film showcase the beauty of being human and how special that is a very interesting concept for a film. And having the device of an AI, which looks like a human, makes us even more sympathetic towards that character that is exploring the beauty of humanity and culture. Director Kokonada had a very specific vision for this film, and it works from a visual standpoint. The camera placement and the cinematography is gorgeous. The aspect ratio changes at times, and it focuses on capturing a lot of the backdrop that these characters inhabit. This proved to be a very clever way of building the world without really mentioning it once, which is some very efficient storytelling and further pushes home the messaging the film ultimately wants to tell. Then there are the performances, which vary quite a bit in terms of their quality. Colin Farrell is easily the strongest performance in the entire film, and as the protagonist, that is what you want. His character grows to care about Yang over the course of this film, and you see him quietly process how much humanity meant to him. The rest of the performances aren't really that important for the most part because they have some pretty small roles. Justin H. Min, who plays Yang, does a solid job of playing this AI who has grown to have more emotion than most AI in this world. It is another quiet performance, but it works for this film. The last role that has some impact is the child performance from, now forgive my pronunciation here, Malia Emma Tandrawajia. Her performance didn't work that well for me. It just felt very much like a cliched child performance. This to me came across as both an inexperienced performance combined with weak writing from Kokonada because she didn't feel like a terrible actress when watching this film. Now, the biggest problem that I have with this film, which knocks it down a lot in my eyes, is the pacing. I have used the words quiet and slow when describing aspects of this film, and those words could apply to the majority of this entire film. I feel like it does a good job of setting up the world in the first 30 minutes, and after that, it seems to just cease telling its story.
What? What the hell going on here?
The same themes and messages are constantly told throughout the duration of the film, without many new factors being added to make this unfold in a satisfying way. This happens so frequently, I was quickly getting very bored with this film. I cannot stand when a film refuses to move the story forward and uses the excuse of being meditative and reflective. Sure, the film is those things, but that doesn't excuse it in its lack of progression or exciting developments in its story. I also thought the very end of this film was very poorly done. It feels like the second act had finished and it was moving to a potentially interesting third act, leaving our protagonist with a very difficult choice. However, it manages to just rush through the ending with a pathetic announcement, and it just kind of ends right after, in a place that just felt so unsatisfying. I genuinely believe there was another 30 minutes to this film. To have so much of this meander to just rush over the more interesting parts of this film is very frustrating, and for that reason, I don't like this anywhere near as much as what I should have. Overall, After Yang is a great concept with some really excellent moments. I would be on board with a lot of the positive reviews from both Letterboxd and Rotten Tomatoes if it had nailed its pacing and made the slow pieces build towards a conclusion that captures your heart and attention. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5, and honestly, over time, I could see that score dropping because I will most likely not watch this one again unless I do some direct comparison with another A24 film or something. Anyway, those are my general thoughts towards After Yang. Thank you for watching the video. Look forward to more videos soon. In the meantime, if you haven't already, I have other A24 content like my review for Men and my top 10 list for A24 films. Check those out if you're interested. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.